Listen, I've studied the habits of billionaires, interviewed countless entrepreneurs, analyzed the routines of world-class athletes, and dissected the daily practices of the most successful people on the planet. And after years of research, I've discovered that there's one thing, just one thing, that separates the extraordinary from the ordinary, the legends from the average, the millionaires from the masses. And it's not what you think it is. It's not waking up at 5 a.m., though many do. It's not meditation, though it helps. It's not reading 50 books a year, though knowledge is power. It's not even having a vision board or setting goals, though those matter too. The one thing that every successful person does daily, without exception, is they have a non-negotiable conversation with themselves about who they're becoming versus who they were yesterday. And this isn't just casual self-reflection. This is a ruthless, honest, sometimes brutal daily audit of their thoughts, actions, decisions, and progress toward the person they're committed to becoming. Oprah does it. Jeff Bezos does it. Elon Musk does it. Michael Jordan did it, and every single person who has achieved extraordinary success in any field has mastered this one daily practice. They consciously and intentionally choose their identity every single day through deliberate thought and action. See, most people live their lives on autopilot, letting their past dictate their present, allowing their circumstances to define their possibilities, and surrendering their power to external conditions. But successful people understand that every single day is an opportunity to vote for the person they want to become. And they cast that vote not just with their actions, but with their thoughts, their standards, their decisions, and their non-negotiable commitment to growth. When Warren Buffett wakes up, he doesn't just check his portfolio. He checks his character. He asks himself if the decisions he's about to make align with the investor and human being he's committed to becoming. When Serena Williams was dominating tennis, she didn't just practice her backhand. She practiced thinking like a champion, talking like a champion, and carrying herself like a champion even when she was losing, because she understood that success isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become in the process of doing it. This daily identity conversation isn't about positive thinking or wishful dreaming. It's about brutal honesty and intentional evolution. It's about looking in the mirror every single day and asking yourself the hard questions. Are my actions today aligned with who I say I want to become? Are my thoughts empowering or limiting? Are my standards high enough to produce the results I want? Am I making decisions from my desired identity or from my past limitations? Am I choosing growth or comfort? Am I becoming the person who naturally achieves my goals? Or am I staying the person who just wishes for them? The unsuccessful masses hope for change. Successful people engineer it through daily identity shifts. And here's the secret that most people miss. Your identity isn't fixed. It's fluid. It's not determined by your past. It's created by your daily choices. And every single day, you get to choose who you're becoming through the conversations you have with yourself and the actions you take as a result. Bill Gates doesn't just run Microsoft. He thinks like someone who runs Microsoft, talks like someone who runs Microsoft, and makes decisions like someone who runs Microsoft, because he has conditioned himself daily to embody the identity of a world-class leader and innovator. Kobe Bryant didn't just play basketball. He became basketball. He thought like greatness, breathed like greatness, and approached every single day like he was already the player he wanted to become, which is why he could perform at that level when it mattered most. The daily conversation successful people have with themselves isn't complicated, but it's comprehensive. They ask, what kind of person do I need to become to achieve my goals? What would that person think about this situation? How would that person respond to this challenge? What decisions would that person make? What standards would that person have? What habits would that person cultivate? What would that person do right now? And this is the crucial part, they don't just answer these questions, they live the answers, they embody the answers, they become the answers through consistent daily action. Most people try to change their circumstances without changing themselves, but successful people understand that you can't have what you've never had without becoming who you've never been. And the only way to become that person is through daily, deliberate, intentional identity work. They don't wait for motivation. They don't wait for inspiration. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They wake up every single day and consciously choose to think, act, speak, and decide from their desired identity rather than their current limitations. This is why successful people seem to have different DNA. They just have different daily conversations with themselves, different daily standards, different daily commitments to growth, and different daily practices that compound over time into extraordinary results. The conversation isn't always easy. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes it requires admitting that you're not living up to your potential. Sometimes it demands that you raise your standards, change your habits, or make difficult decisions. But this daily discomfort is the price of extraordinary success, and every successful person has learned to embrace it. So here's your challenge. Starting tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you get caught up in the day's activities, before you let the world dictate your mood and mindset, have a conversation with yourself about who you're becoming. Not who you were, not who you are, but who you're becoming through today's choices, today's actions, today's standards, and today's commitment to growth. Ask yourself the hard questions, answer them honestly, and then live the answers with unwavering commitment. Because the one thing that separates successful people from everyone else isn't talent, luck, or circumstances. It's their daily commitment to becoming the person who naturally achieves the success they desire. And that commitment starts with a conversation that only you can have with yourself.